Good morning. This is Matthew Myers with my fire prevention and code enforcement class for Columbia Southern University. I'm doing my video out here in the mountains. Well, a little hike. Decided not to be boring per the request of the professor. I was gonna make it all the way up, but weather in Washington changes pretty quick, and I can see it from the bottom. It's already foggy up there, so only did about 1.5 miles today, but I got a little script here written up, so just bear with me with some notes here. So starting off with education, engineering, and enforcement. Education, public outreach, which is the fire departments offering community programs and fire safety measures to the public, which that here is done by Puget Sound Fire and King County Fire, South King County Fire. And then enforcement, fire inspectors, fire and building, ensure compliance with codes through plan reviews, on-site inspections, and follow-up complaints. And then engineering requires buildings to include fire-resistant materials, sprinkler systems, adequate hydrants, fire-related assemblies, and structure designs that limit fire spread as mandated by the international codes adopted locally. And then how code is enforced here in King County. King County enforces the 2021 International Building, Fire, Residential, Mechanical, and Emergency Codes. Sorry, there's a lot of noises around here. As amended by Washington State and further by King County. And enforcement is administered by King County Permits Division. Building and fire inspectors verify compliance during construction in unincorporated areas. So out here is unincorporated. I'm about 40 to 50 miles east of downtown Seattle. So kind of out in the middle of nowhere a little bit. And the code enforcement section responds to complaints on property maintenance, zoning, and structural issues. And for application of code to new buildings versus existing buildings, new buildings must comply to the 2021 code, including fire-rated walls, sprinkler systems, emergency egress, structural design, and approved materials. And then existing structures assessed under the IEBC International Existing Building Code, alterations typically trigger upgrades for safety, but routine maintenance usually only requires repairs to existing standards. Major change of use projects or extensive renovations require full plan review. Like this weekend, I-5 northbound is completely shut down for repaving and repairing bridges, and I saw on the Washington DOT website that they're re-inspecting all the bridges and roads and whatnot out there. So I thought it was kind of cool, a little related to this. And then some local organizations around here include the Washington Surveying and Rating Bureau, which assesses fire district protection classes, and including reviews of materials, hydrants, staffing, enforcement, and communications. Private labs include Intertech, which they have facilities in Kent and Bellingham, I believe, which they conduct standard fire testing. And then the King County Materials Lab, they test materials used in infrastructure like concrete and asphalt for quality control and compliance. And then a couple testing methods in my area here are ASTM E84, which measures flame spread and smoke flame spread and smoke for interior finishes, and ASTM E1354, heat, smoke, and release rate testing. I can flip the page here. And then another one is large-scale furnace tests, like for floor ceiling assemblies, which is offered by labs like Intertech. And then some unsafe structures here in King County, include missing or non-functioning fire separations, like between units and garages, absence of required automatic fire suppression sprinklers in new multifamily or resident or commercial construction, blocked or inadequate egress paths, including missing exit signs and emergency lighting, and structural deterioration, rotting framing, compromised load-bearing elements, or non-compliant modifications under IEBC. Highest risk construction here in King County is type 5, wood frame houses, predominant residential zones, highly combustible with low fire resistance, and enables rapid fire spread. And older combustible structures pre-1990s, which lack fire sprinklers, fire breaks, and other related assemblies, making them very vulnerable to wildland and urban interface fires. Out here in rural King County, especially, my area around here, this used to be a whole mining and logging site back in the late 1800s and early 1900s. So my house was built in, say, 19-teens, something like that, around 1914, 1916. So very old. You can definitely tell. But it's been updated already before. So but yeah, a lot of structures around here are type 5. There's a lot of people in King County. There's a lot of structures in King County. Most populated county, I believe, in the state, if I'm correct. I believe so. And then plans review and structural controls enhance safety. Rigorous plan review ensures fire-resistant ratings, sprinkler coverage, egress, and materials are compliant before construction begins. Structural controls include specifying non-combustible or protected structural elements and fire-resistant barriers that limit fire spread. Proactive mitigation, early identification, and elimination of unsafe conditions reduces risk in existing buildings. And continuous coordination between fire marshals, building officials, and engineers help close the loop from design to inspection, ushering unsafe structures into compliance and improving fire resilience in King County. So yeah, it was actually pretty interesting learning more about my area here in King County, kind of how stuff is enforced and the codes and unsafe structures we have around here. But yeah, that is all, and I'm really enjoying this class right now, and yeah, looking forward to the rest of it. Thank you. Have a good rest of your day.